Now I want to shift my focus to the head coach, because for every bencher, there's a benchy. Mm-hmm. For every benchy, there's a bencher, I guess would have been the way to say that. Dave Canales earlier today spoke with the media about the decision to bench his starting quarterback, Bryce Young, and this was his kind of opening statement about that decision. Best decision for our group, for our team going forward. The true irony of this whole situation is between Bryce Young and Dave Canales and their reputations and histories with the media, I don't believe we're going to get an honest thought from either of them. We're just going to get the right thing. They're both so well media trained and always saying the right thing. We're not going to get an authentic thought from either of them. Here's my question with Dave Canales. Dave Canales the whole reason he was brought in to be the head coach of the Carolina Panthers is because of his work rehabilitating quarterbacks, taking quarterbacks that others had given up on and turning them into successful starters. Right? For everybody that's out there screaming, "Oh, Baker Mayfield was so terrible with the Panthers. Now look at him with Tampa." That was Dave Canales. He was the offensive coordinator down there. So he gets the job on the back of his ability to rehabilitate quarterbacks. Then from the moment he takes the job, he's singing the praises of Bryce Young. You would think the decisions to trade for Deontay Johnson, to sign those interior offensive linemen to big free agency deals, to draft the people they drafted were in a lot of ways driven by Dave Canales and the list he gave of this is what I need to make Bryce Young work. And then two games in, well, I was wrong. 2 days in, I'm so wrong. We got to bench that guy.
Let's play that one more time. I know there's an EAS test and stuff that was kind of going around throughout the area a little bit. So let's actually, and also for the people online that are maybe watching, let's go ahead and give that clip out one more time.
All right. Dave Canales earlier today, his kind of opening statement on why they decided to bench Bryce Young.
I'm sure you've all heard by now our decision to play Andy Dalton as we go into Las Vegas to play the Raiders. Sitting Bryce down here, after yesterday, just went home, watched the film, had some conversations with coaches, with Dan Brandt. So had to gather a lot of information through this morning and made that decision after looking at it that this is the best decision for our group, for our team going forward.
It's all said, right? Like I said, that's what you say when you bench a quarterback. Do coaches get some kind of like script and it's for benching quarterback, turn to page 65 and I'm all right, 1, 2, 3. It is what's best for our team and our franchise.
It's in the manual.
That's what Dave Canales does. He's at the press conference. He's usually saying the right thing. And you know what? I actually that's something Canales and Bryce Young have in common. And I wonder. We talked about this earlier. If Bryce Young wasn't losing the team a little bit because of that. And I said this about Dave Canales after the first game. When you play really bad, you should be mad. When the offense goes out there and has 3 and outs to start a game followed by an interception, the quarterback should be furious. How many times did we see Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, whoever throwing tablets, right? Peyton Manning mic'd up arguing with Jeff Saturday. We've seen Pat Mahomes yell on the sideline. Bryce Young is, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Bryce Young's dad is like a sports psychologist. He's been working with quarterback guru since he was like 6. It's the right way to handle adversity is to do what Bryce does, which is like, well, we're just going to regroup. We're going to trust the work. We're going to get better. We're going to work harder. It's frustrating. It's fresh, but next week's another opportunity. Sometimes a team just wants you to see, I threw a pick and I'm very upset about it. Mm-hmm. And I think Dave Canales here, right, as at the risk of losing the locker room, is going to a guy with a little bit more locker room presence. He's going to Andy Dalton, a little bit more veteranship, and then, hopefully he's going to steady the field a little bit here. Dave Canales has to be careful not to fall into the same trap Bryce Young fell into, which is every single time I'm talking to the media, I'm bringing out my coach's media script, the handbook, and I'm just, all right, 2 straight losses, go to page 45. Here's what I have to say. Sometimes you just got to be authentic and real and say, I'm mad. We have more clips from Dave Canales earlier today on the decision to bench Bryce. Here's more.
The entire product.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors. We want to play more football. A lot of factors that go into it, for this decision, and ultimately just kind of lands on my shoulders to be able to make the best decision for our group, to give us our best chance to win this week. And we focus on the weeks. We focus on the challenge at hand, and we feel like Andy gives us our best chance to meet the challenge.
Andy gives us our best chance to reach the challenge. I agree. I think you're more likely to win week 3 at Vegas with Andy Dalton than Bryce Young. That's not all a team is thinking about, though. A team like the Panthers, are you winning the 2025 Super Bowl? Are you winning the division in 2025? Or are you building for the future? Every team falls into one of 2 categories. If you're all in for this year or if you're all in for the future. And it's very hard to be those at the same time. That's why I think it's hard. People like Bill Belichick have failed at it. It's hard being both a GM and a head coach. Because traditionally the head coach is all in for this year and the GM has to think bigger picture. Playing Andy Dalton is a coach move. I want to win next week. I'm tired of losing. This locker room stinks after a loss. The GM move might be, now we got to play Bryce Young just to see if there's ever anything we can salvage there. So it's a little difference there. I'm not saying that either is saying like, hey, Bryce Young's doing well. I'm saying one of them might be saying, I don't care if he's not doing well, play him anyway. And the other's going, I'm trying to win on Sunday. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have Dennis just reminded me. I want to make sure we play this one. Dave Canales was asked earlier today, what is David Tepper's influence on the decision? We're definitely going to have to talk about this today quite a bit. Here's Dave Canales earlier.
I want to keep that private. What I would like to say, though, is this is something after I watched the film, I looked at it, had a thought, started working on, talking to the guys that we make decisions with. Certainly a lot of parties involved there. And ultimately this comes on me, and my number one responsibility is to help the Panthers win. And so this move, I believe, puts us in the best chance to do that this week.
That is concerning. Oh my goodness. What did David Tepper's influence have over this decision? And his answer was, I'd like to keep that private. There's one right answer to that. He supported my decision. I want to give you David Tepper's football background. There isn't one. This, like, Jerry Jones, many think is too hands-on, and he runs all of the football, and it's like, well, he's an owner, so he gets to. But that's the only reason. He was a national champion college football player at Arkansas.
Yeah.
David Tepper, to my knowledge, didn't play in high school. Like, from what I've learned about him, he's a very smart guy. He's an unbelievable financial mind. That guy doesn't get a seat at the table other than having a seat at the table. Like, he's there to hear and listen and support.
I mean, he was minority owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers before buying the Panthers.
So, yes, I guess his football, yes.
That's the extent of it.
He's been an owner.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, what was it, like 3, 4, 5% of the Steelers? That's a Rooney run organization.
Exactly.